Okie doke, so the missions for today we're going to be not many indoors because it's raining. Never mind. So first things first though, today is the start of the giant sunflower grow off and the pumpkin grow off. So apologies guys, where I've got some giant pumpkin seeds, so that is what I'm going to be growing. And giant sunflowers, I'm going to start off in pots, and I'm going to do 2 different ones. I'm also going to put some outside as well, but it's blinking raining, so I don't know whether to just brave it or not. So these ones, so Mr. Fothergill's, you see, sunflower giant single, and some of these which Marina Wilson, link to her channel below in the description, has very nicely sent us. So those are the main ones I'm going to be sowing today. I'm also going to be sowing, my sister gave us this packet of stuff yesterday, so I'm also going to sow some opal basil. I think that looks pretty if nothing else. Garlic chives, I think that's like a wild garlic looking at them. So I'm going to sow some of them too today. I don't need any sage, I've got a plant out there, so I'll probably hang on to them seeds, because at some point I will need to replace that plant, and it's probably going to be next year. I will sow some of these purple carrots as well, if nothing else, because they look interesting. But like I say, it's raining and I don't want to be messing about out there today. I'm also going to sow some more kale and some more nasturtiums, because the ones I sowed last time just haven't come up for some reason. It's also Sunday, so it's time to give Doris a drink, but I'm losing one of the flower stalks, so I'm going to cut that off. I'm also going to give her a feed today, so we'll do that first, and then we'll do all our swans in the greenhouse, I think, where it's a bit warmer. So hoping I'm doing this right. From what I've read, you just want to cut slightly above the base of where the shoot comes out. There we go. I might as well take that out as well. Seems to have discoloured the leaf as well. I wonder if I should take that leaf off. I think I will. And give her a nice drink. And add some tomato feed. You know, I can never do these flipping things. They're always made for right-handers, and even though I write with my right hand, I do everything else with my left. So things like that are awkward. The other thing I want to do today is this azalea here is out of my mum's garden, and when she moved to this new house bungalow, this plant's really struggled, so what I'm going to try and revive it for her. So basically I'm going to put it in a pot. I'm going to add some sulfate of iron, because it likes to be either neutral or slightly acidic. I'm wondering if that's what the problem is in that garden. Maybe it has an alkaline soil. I think I should take my tester over and have a look. But either way, just didn't like it in there. So I'm going to try and see if I can revive it for her. So that's another thing we're going to do today too. Oh, and before I forget, I went and got myself an azalea yesterday from Emily's. I'm going to go and fetch it in because it's too wet outside to have the camera out there, so I'll go grab it and come back. Right, so these were my purchases yesterday. So a lovely little lilac flowered azalea, absolutely gorgeous them things, and one of these tetra, I have no idea how you pronounce that, but anyway, it's one of those fancy trees that have the tops over like that, so I need to train that, so I need to do a bit of googling on how to do that basically, but I absolutely love them, so I think these two are going to make some really nice additions to the front garden. But yes, so these came from Emily's, and honest to God, cheapest chips, and crazy selection this bloke's got. So if you're local or if you're passing, pay him a visit, right? So he's called Brian, and it's Emily's Nurseries. Can you see that? I'll put full details in the description below as well, and you'll also be able to find the information on Facebook. So right, I'll get the greenhouse set up for sowing and we'll head out to there. Right, so the first thing I'm going to tackle is my mum's azalea, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it back to start with until I find some live material basically, and then I'll also knock off this mud. I'm going to mix some compost up with some sulphate of iron and pot it into that. So dead. So basically, looking at this, I'm going to be left with 2 stalks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it right back, all this stuff right off, get the soil off, and let's get it potted on. I'm basically just going to leave stalks that have leaves. See what happens. Right. So, after a bit reading this morning, I'm actually thinking, looking at this, it's maybe been buried too deep. From what I've read, azaleas like to be just rooted, like to be shallow rooted, and looking at this, it's been cut in quite deep. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to get all the muck out from in between the branches, and then I'm going to put it outside in the rain for a bit to let the rain wash off this excess muck. So that's neutral, I would say. Sure, it was neutral, I don't want to say that. Which is good, it's not, you know, it says neutral to acidic. You can see it's pretty much in the middle there, it's reading. Actually no, it's dropping down now, it's going more towards the alkaline. With 6, that is neutral range, so yes, I'm going to put it outside now. Actually first I'm going to cut it down. These branches I'm going to take a bit off to where we've still got growth. I just want to reduce it just a smidge. So I'll zoom you back out. I'm going the right way. Yeah. I'm going to take off this bit. Yeah, that bit's still live, it's green. And I'm going to take off this bit. It looks alright, isn't it? But I just don't want it to have to put too much in. Yeah. I want the energy to go into regrowth now. See, some of the bits are really dead, and some of the bits are not too bad. The really dark stuff is the dead bits. And this lighter stuff is still in reasonable condition, and then the live is green. So right, so just pop that outside for a bit. Right, and so that's that. I'll get cleared up and we'll come back and move on to the next bit. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is, in preparation, I'm just going to get the pot ready for the pot and the compost ready for these to come back in. So just in the bottom of the pot, I'm just going to put some of these bits of unrotted material. I've sipped out of the compost. Just cover the bottom there. Like that. And then I've got this pot here. I'll mix some compost up with the iron. And I don't think it would want much because it's neutral to acidic, so I'll put a small sprinkle like that. Give it a mix. Here's the one stuff. I also think I'm doing this exact same process with my Acer, because that hasn't budded so far this year, and it usually has by now. So as soon as it stops raining, one of the first things I'll be doing is getting the Acer out and basically following this same process, so and try and bring that back to life as well. So right, I suppose I'll get them shifted, and that's that. So I think the next thing we'll do is we'll find the seeds. We'll do the giant sunflowers and the giant pumpkins. So I'll get it up and we'll come back in a second. And sunflowers, I'm going to do 2 of each, and pick the strongest one of each and grow up the height of the house. Some of this and put this in the bottom. Some compost. I did start some giant sunflowers off a while ago, but they seem to go really leggy, so I got rid of them. And this is for the little competition thing anyway, so the Mr. Fothergill's ones first. And when I say 2, I mean 2 pots each, so I'll go 4 seeds per pot and pick the strongest ones. And so I know which one's which, and the ones from Marina. The Marina's ones. I'll do exactly the same thing. top them up, get them labelled. Right, there we go. So just to show you, for the Marina ones, I put giant sunflower, Marina. And for the Mr. Fothergill ones, I've just put giant sunflower with nothing on the back. Right, so I'll get them put outside and we'll get sowing the next thing. Okie doke, so the next thing is going to be the garlic chives and the opal basil. I think I'll be keeping both these lots in here planted around with the tomatoes and that. I quite like this because it's all about companion planting, which you follow me videos, you know I'm a big advocate of. And the best way to help you stay organic, if you ask me. Right, so 2 pots. There again, a handful of the sieve out at the bottom. Just going to sprinkle some. That. There we go, that's that. We'll put these outside and we'll come back and we'll do the nasturtiums and the kale. Right, fill up these ones. And fill straight up with the compost. See if it's soft. These two, I'm just going to sprinkle some sieve compost over the top. And same again, I'll get them labelled and popped outside, and then we'll bring my mum's plant back in to sort out. Right, so here we go. So I've got mum's Azalea back in, and I've got the pot with a bit of stuff on the bottom there that we did before. I'm just doing a test and stuck the reader in this soil mix we made up before, and it's reading 5, so which is definitely still in the neutral range but more towards the acidic, which is what we want. So that's definitely good. So I just need a scoop now. There. So, and like I say, after the readings this morning, you definitely want the azalea to be high up in the pot because it likes to be shallow rooted. A bit more. Hopefully that's good there. Add a smidge more of this, the sulphate of iron. Like I said, I definitely think this is what I'll be doing with the Acer as well. Basically follow the same process, because I think that's been I've basically had the same issue as my mum. I've had it in, well, I tested the ground up there and it was really alkaline. Apparently they're like, same as this, neutral to acidic, so now it's a case of basically, fingers crossed, I'll put it outside, let the rain have at it, but I'll also give it a good drink. I think it seems to be slowing down the rain now, which is typical. So right, I think, right, as you can see, this basil is looking pretty sorry for itself, just the same as the last one was. So what I'm going to do is just exactly the same. I'm going to chop off any really naked bits excuse me, and then I'll plant it in the bed there. I think I'm going to put it over in this corner here. And all I'm going to do, I need a drill. Make a little hole. See, it's really popped round, it's dead dry. Should be much better in there. I'm not going to water in there because it's already quite wet. It should be alright. So right, that's it for that one then, folks. So I'll catch you all next time round when the weather's a bit better.